I'm more scared of not trying something and living with regret versus the fear of failure itself. Were there any setbacks in the past you had doubts about overcoming? Yes, all the time. I had doubts about whether Canadian Protein would be... I actually started my real estate around the same time as Canadian Protein and the supplement company in response to whether or not I thought it was going to be a viable business moving forward and it would even work. But I knew real estate would work because I've read multiple books up until that point, or you don't even have to read multiple books. At that point in time, early on, before like say tech was super prevalent, the majority of millionaires that were made in the US were from real estate. So just by that number right there, I was like, fuck it. I'm also going to invest in real estate while also starting my supplement company, because if this doesn't work, at least I have real estate to fall back on. So yes, I have... I don't know that I've ever actually been set back in terms of... I don't know that I've ever been set back, but I have feelings that if I allowed it to fester in me and not, if I allowed that fear to paralyze me, then it would set me back. I have that fear. I don't let it paralyze me. I focus the fear and allow that fear to scare me into making moves versus that fear paralyzing me to the point where I don't. And for me, it's the fear of regret that is stronger than the fear of trying something with the underlying notion of failure, if that makes sense. I'm more scared of not trying something and living with regret versus the fear of failure itself. Now, before, I did have a really big fear of failure, and it got bad when I kind of, looking back, I remember thinking about this a couple years ago, and I was like, fuck, well, like, why did I do that? Because I used to be a big procrastinator. I still, even till this day, might do that. And that might be where my fear of failure comes in, where I would not study for school for things because I didn't want to put forth my full effort into something and not say get an A, be top of the class. So instead, in my head, I wouldn't put the effort that needed to be into it, just kind of pass. And then when I kind of pass, I tell myself,
well, it's because I didn't try.
It was because I didn't try, right? But now I'm at a stage in my life, and even like after that epiphany that I had with my one buddy that told me, like, my one good buddy that was like, oh, this is why you'll always work in a gym. Like after that, I was like, fuck, I that's more scary. That comment, and it wasn't about working in a gym. That's not what the comment was. What his comment was, you're capable of so much more, but this is why you're only doing that. That's more scary to me than the fear of failure at this point in my life. So that's why I'm like, fucking throw everything at it all the time, because I'm not going to be on my deathbed, wondering like, oh, I wonder if I would have done that. I wonder if I could have been like fucking flying around on the world on my private jet. There's no fucking chance that that's going to happen with me. No chance. So, I feel like early on in my life, I think that there was a lot of setbacks because of my fear of failure. But after those pivotal points in my life, I refocused that fear of failure. And I think I transitioned it into the fear of regret. And I refocused that fear to allow me to make moves at every possible fucking point I can.